on an absolute roll lately. We just got the Aqara G4 doorbell last month, and we're getting the U100 smart door lock and T1 light strip coming later this year. And just this week they released the Aqara FP2 presence sensor. And if you're into smart home automations like I am and looking for new ways to take them to the next level, then you're definitely going to want to stick around for this one. Let's take a closer look and see what this thing's all about. First things first, in the box you'll get the actual sensor itself, a USB-A to USB-C cable, and then the mounting accessories. The cord is only about 6 feet long or so that is something to consider when thinking about where you want to put it. Let's talk about the design of the sensor for just a moment. It's very similar to the FP1 by Aqara that we never ended up getting in the United States for whatever reason. And as you can see, it's a sleek and compact device with a minimalistic white design, which is important to me with any smart home device, as it'll easily blend in with any room. It's got a glossy finish and a rounded shape, and on the back it has a stand with magnets for easy placement. And then there's a USB-C port to power it, so you'll never have to worry about replacing batteries like you do with other Aqara devices. On the back is also where you can locate your HomeKit code. This is currently available to pick up on Amazon. You can find a link to it in the description of this video. But I would add that if you wait for just a few more weeks, Aqara is known for putting out significant discounts in the form of coupons shortly after launch. So that's something to think about, and it might just be worth the wait. So why would someone want to use this over a regular motion sensor? Well, a traditional motion sensor like the Aqara P1 uses a passive infrared sensor, or PIR, which is great for controlling automations like turning on and off a hallway light as you're walking through, or waking up your wall-mounted iPad, which is just a few ways how I use them. But where PIR comes up short is when trying to use it in, say, a living room, and you're watching TV and being extremely still causes everything to turn off. Well, with the new FP2 sensor, any issues of that nature are eradicated thanks to the millimeter wave technology that it uses. Millimeter wave radar devices like this one use contactless sensing technology for detecting objects, and in this use case, humans. This can detect the slightest of movements and even down to someone breathing, and can tell exactly where you are within a room. Another big difference that you'll notice with the FP2 over the P1 is it knowing the difference between a human and a robot vacuum, or a small pet. Although Aqara has said that the pet filtering functionality will be optimized for larger animals via an over-the-air update in the future. The room that you decide to place this in can be mapped out in the Aqara app. You can program up to 32 different zones within each room you have one, and map out up to 320 different squares. The built-in sensor is refreshing every half a second, and Aqara is calling this precise zone positioning. So for example, if I have this in my main living area, I can set up different zones for it to detect different presences and execute different actions, whether I'm standing at the kitchen sink, sitting at the kitchen table, or lying down on the couch in the living room. This is going to be nice for those of you who might want different actions to take place within your smart home based off how you're interacting within a space. Maybe you only want to set your theater scene light setup to run when you're physically laying down on the couch after 7 p.m. versus when you sit, maybe only the overhead lights come on. Or think about the lights that turn on and off as they follow you around the room, like a scene straight out of Batman. This is really going to open up a lot of possibilities for next level automations that will truly make your smart home smart, and you won't have to rely so heavily on calling out to Siri to run scenes and automations. I think one of the coolest features that are built in is the ability to detect when someone has fallen, and enable push notifications that are sent right to your phone if something like that were to ever occur. This is a great way to keep an eye on elderly loved ones that you might live with while still maintaining privacy. The FP2 can also monitor 3 to 5 people within a 400 square foot room, allowing it to trigger multiple automations simultaneously if you want it. It also contains a Bluetooth radio for future plans that Aqara has to bring Matter support to the FP2. And then lastly, something that's worth mentioning is that you'll need to either mount this device up high on your wall or on the ceiling so it's able to see the entire room. A few other specs to mention real quick is that this thing actually has an onboard ambient light sensor that can be used to adjust your lights or curtains based off the current light that it's receiving. It also has an IPX5 water resistant rating for those of you who might want to use this on a porch or something like that. It also currently only works over a 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network instead of the normal Zigbee, which means this doesn't need to be paired with a hub. Automations of the FP2 are executed without having to send any information to the cloud. and they'll keep working even when your Wi-Fi isn't. Both ceiling and wall mounted options both give you 120 degrees of viewing area, but both have different dimensions, so that's something else to be aware of when planning out where you want to put it, especially if you have really tall ceilings. I did come across this statement from Aqara that reads, in fall detection mode, most features of the FP2 including zone position and presence detection become unavailable. So that's a huge bummer, but not necessarily a deal breaker. Setup in the Aqara app is very smooth. If you've used any Aqara products in the past, you'll know that simplicity and ease of use is one of their strong points. Another thing that's a little bit different with this compared to some of the other Aqara devices is this doesn't actually have to be paired with an existing Aqara hub. If you open up the Aqara app and hit the Add Accessory button, it'll take you through all the necessary steps. You'll want to power the device on and wait for the yellow light to start flashing. Then select the name of your home, and then the HomeKit pairing screen will pop up where you can actually scan the HomeKit code on the FP2 that we mentioned earlier. And now it's visible in both the Aqara and Apple Home app. On the screen now, you can see some of the features and options it gives you within the apps. Now, of course, like most products, not all features are going to be exposed to HomeKit, but the zones that you set up will be imported, which in my opinion is a huge win, and it'll allow you to keep your automations within the Home app and control all the different devices that you may have set up within your home. Within the Home app, it also exposes that light sensor that we talked about earlier, which opens up a whole nother avenue for automations. While in the Aqara app, you'll be able to see all the different features that the FP2 has to offer, such as mapping and live updates. There is a few different templates to choose from to get you started in building your room, but of course you can always build it from scratch if you'd like. And just like you can with the majority of newer robot vacuum cleaners, you can add furniture to your map to help separate your zones and aid the sensor in showing it where you are. Also in the Aqara app, you have the ability to disable the indicator light either completely or only during specified times, like normal sleeping hours, as well as change the sensitivity level of the sensor to either low, medium, or high. In order to add and make your different zones visible in the Apple Home app, you'll want to go to More Settings in the Aqara app and select Name Synchronization. I have to say, I'm very impressed with its responsiveness. It quickly detects when anyone enters or moves around within a room. And the automations that I have set up in both the Aqara and the Home app seem to have been working flawlessly. The presence detections within a space is extremely accurate, down to within a few inches, and updates live within the app every few seconds. So overall, what do I think of the Aqara FP2 presence sensor? Well, I'd have to say that I think this is a great addition to anyone building a smart home or has an existing smart home and really wants to take their automations to the next level. I believe devices using this millimeter wave technology are going to be the next phase in the evolution of the smart home market. And I wouldn't be surprised to see more manufacturers start to make products just like this one. So why not go ahead and get one from a brand that's always been considered to be one of the most reliable and consistent brands in the Apple ecosystem. Once again, this product is live and can be picked up today. So if you like this video, consider helping out the channel by using the affiliate link provided in the description. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments on how you plan to use the FP2 to automate your smart home. I know there's got to be some crazy over-the-top stuff that some of you guys have planned. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!